Don't even try it on, because now you've fallen in love with a dress that's way over budget.
Get your life, plan it out. You can go as far as you can dream. Edges laid, curls popping. She's a doctor of pharmacy.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel for another video. So today's video is going to be on, if you can already tell, this is my girl. Y'all remember her from my Q&A video. If you have not seen that, please check her out. This is my bride to be. If that didn't really resonate with you, maybe this will help you out. Okay, cheers. This is my wedding planning cup, and today's video is going to be on, you guessed it, wedding planning. So let's get into it. But before we get started, wanted to shout out this winery. Y'all, first time visiting. It's called Grove Winery. I was on my way home, saw the sign off the interstate, so I'm super excited to try this. I love sweet wine, so this is the Grove Winery Vineyards Blackberry, freshly made from a local vineyard. They also said that it has a fizz to it, so let's see what it's giving, y'all. Let's see what it's giving. I gotta put a little, because if it ain't giving much, I'm gonna switch her up. It's more of a semi-sweet. Like, it actually has the aftertaste of sweet, but it's not like sweet. Like, I like really, really sweet, but it's okay. It'll do for the video. So let's get into it. I don't play about my notes, okay? Here we go. All right, so reason why I wanted to do this video, first off, if you don't already know, oh, she's not. Here we go. Newly engaged. I say newly, but it's been a while now. I can't believe I've been engaged that long. But anyways, newly engaged, and me and my fiance, if I say my husband, just pay it, because he's pretty much my husband, but me and my fiance have been actively planning, and we've been hands-on, like fully involved in the planning, both of us from different aspects. Neither one of us are in the industry, so it's pretty much just us enjoying planning and really getting involved with our special day. So I wanted to do a quick video for any new brides who are in the planning process or about to start planning, or if you are just anticipating and claiming that your husband is coming and you just like, look, I want to go ahead and think about these things before I even have to think about them, then this video is for you. Disclaimer, I am not a wedding planner, wedding coordinator in the industry, photographer. I ain't none of that. Okay, so take that for what it is. Also, I'll mention our wedding is in a very short time period from our engagement. If you are ready for this video, I hope you're excited like I am. Like, I feel like, honestly, me going through the wedding planning process has not been stressful. A lot of people say, oh my gosh, you gotta be so stressed and overwhelmed. It's been fun, y'all. Like, I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe the stress will come later. I don't even want to claim that, to be honest. As I talk through all these things, remember two things. This day is about you and your spouse. Okay, that's it. Not your mama, not your grandma, not your brother, not your cousin. No. Just you and that person, okay? Because at the end of the day, the marriage is what's going to keep y'all together, okay? The love, the respect, the longevity. Not that one day, okay? One day of marriage, but y'all had the rest of your lives. And just remember that. That takes me to my second point. Do what you all feel is feasible and reasonable. Woo-hoo, that was a word. Feasible and reasonable. And I'm going to run that back one more time for the people in the back row. Feasible. For you and your spouse, not what grandma and them want. What you and your spouse believe is feasible and what's reasonable. All right, so on that note, church, let's get into it. First things first. Budgets, okay? To have it, own it, stick to it, write it down. First things first, budget. Like, before you even think about a date, before you think about a season, a dress style, none of that. You need a budget. You need a budget, okay? Let me tell you why. Every time you talk to a vendor, 9 times out of 10, the question is going to come up. Well, what's your budget? What's your budget? And you don't want to be sitting here looking like boo-boo the fool because you don't have a budget, okay? Get a budget that's what? Feasible and reasonable. Come on, church. Go back to the first point. Feasible and reasonable, okay? Remember, the budget should cover every single thing, okay? Meaning your venue, your decorations. If you're hiring a wedding planner, that needs to be in there. Your florist, your dress, his tuxedo. Now, some people leave that out, but you can include that in your budget if you would like to as well. Transportation. Are y'all trying to arrive or leave in a horse, a regular car, a limo? What are y'all trying to, how are y'all getting to and from the venue? Your officiants, your, what else am I missing? Caterer, your DJ, your bartender, videographer, photographer, all of this, your setup crew, all of these vendors need to be accounted for in your budget, okay? Now, from those vendors, remember what is important to you and your spouse. Now, I'll tell you a general thumb rule. Now, this did not come from me. One of my vendors shared this with me and it made sense, right? Remember, your photographer and videographer are going to be the two vendors that carry with you until death, okay? You're going to have those pictures and you're going to have that videography forever. So you don't want no pictures and video that's looking dusty and crusty. Okay, you want those to be crisp, meaning you may want to include more in your budget for those items, okay? So budget, number one, budget. Next, you want to consider your venue, right? How many guests are you considering? That will play into the role of your venue, because if you have a venue that doesn't accommodate the amount of guests that you need, that's going to be a problem, right? So definitely your venue, what do they include? What I found was some venues are all inclusive, meaning you pay the venue one price and they allocate that out to the other vendors. So they're paying your photographer. They already have a photographer that they do business with. Imagine an all-inclusive resort. It's similar to that. So everything is included. Your photographer, caterer, you're pretty much just picking your options. A bartender is included, DJ. There are some venues like that, which is very, very convenient. Okay, if you're like, look, I'm really not trying to hire no planner to do this for me, but I do want to look at venues that have everything included. Definitely do that, because now, will it save you money? Yes and no. A lot of times when you calculate your own budgets, you don't include the gratuity, the service charge, and the tax. And then sometimes vendors will have additional costs afterwards where they send you an invoice. For instance, if your DJ is giving you 3 hours and you just having the time of your life, honey, at that wedding, and you extend to 1 more hour, they're going to send you that invoice after your wedding. After you say, I do, honey, the next day you're waking up to, I do need to pay this bill. So just keep that in mind with going the all-inclusive route versus going the regular route. Once you lock the venue and the date in, everything else kind of rolls after that. So the dates of your wedding, you want to be thinking season. If you're really big on your wedding colors, definitely make sure they match. For instance, if you want a coral type color or like a turquoise, you may not want to have your brides out there in the winter in coral or turquoise. Thinking about the wedding colors also help you figure out the season and the date. Now, another thing you want to think about with your date, some days of the week are going to be cheaper, and some months, because they're off-season months, are going to be cheaper for the venue. Same weekend and everything, just one day ahead, you can save $2,000. I know from firsthand. You can save a lot of money just for switching your date. Now, keep in mind your guests who are traveling in, they may have to take off an extra day of work, but again, this is about you and your spouse. So whatever is going to save you all the most money and it's going to be most reasonable for y'all, do what works for you. Now, the location, things to consider with the location is you and your spouse are going to be traveling to and from that location very frequently, and your vendors need to be within reason of that location. So what does that mean? You need to think about convenience. For instance, my wedding is in North Carolina. I'm actually from Virginia. I don't have time to be driving back and forth to Virginia for food tasting, to meet with a videographer, to meet with a bar, you know what I mean? To meet with these vendors to discuss things about my dress or things about my, I don't know, my hair, my makeup, my food, what I want for my appetizers, my hors d'oeuvres, I don't got it in me. I mean, some people can freely travel. I personally wanted it to be convenient for me and my husband, me and my fiance. Pause, because I forgot the very, very first step. So I'm gonna back it on up. Y'all know what I'm about to say, like a U-Haul truck, okay?
We gonna back it on up.
So before you even get a venue or think about a venue, and this may or may not apply to everyone, but if you are considering a full-on wedding planner, I mean from start to finish, you are hands off. You want somebody to kind of be there, hold your hand, give you a list, like these are some venues, where do you want to get married? Okay, these are some venues, these are some caterers. Hand everything to you on a gold, silver, china plates, honey. Do that. Do what you need to do to relieve the stress, okay? Period. No judge zone. get you a wedding planner, and honey, price compare. We'll definitely say price compare. Okay. Story time. Me and my fiance actually planned the majority of our wedding, but we did hire a day of coordinator. So a day of coordinator is definitely going to be important, okay, to take the stress off. Duties of a wedding planner. If you're watching this and you are a wedding planner, please add to this because this is not all inclusive. But the overarching purpose of a wedding planner is to help you all tie the knots. Not literally tie the knot, that's the officiant, but tying all the pieces together. So vendors, they'll send you contracts. You want to make sure you read through every single fine line. You don't have time to do that. That's for your planner to do, your coordinator to do. They're going to read through the vendors and say, hey, did you notice this vendor does not include, did you notice your catering vendor does not include chargers? Where are we going to get the chargers from? Did you notice that they only include one glass? Do you have champagne flutes that you want to use for the toast? Things that you don't even think about, right? They're in the industry. They've done it so long, so they can easily pinpoint things. Your setup crew doesn't include taking out the trash. You have someone else that's going to do that, right? Your DJ services don't include lighting. Where are you getting your lighting from? Things that you're like, oh, you're right. I ain't never noticed about that. So, or I didn't even think about that. Those are the things that you want to use your wedding planner and your coordinator for. Also a timeline. Your photographer needs to know if they need to be in point A by this certain time, point B to take pictures, wherever they need to be placed, whatever time you and your girls need to start getting your makeup done. If you have really big wedding parties, you're going to have to start early on makeup. So the planner kind of keeps all of those pieces running. They also plan and coordinate your rehearsal dinner, and they work with all of the vendors simultaneously to make sure your wedding runs smoothly. All for delegating and all for letting others help you, but you just don't want to place it in the wrong hands or think, oh, I can do it. It's not that big of a deal. No, no, no. You need somebody. Whether you hire somebody or not, you need someone. And it's okay to not be extravagant. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times as brides, people have high hopes. I can't wait to go to her wedding. She's going to do it all out. She's going to do it big. Maybe I'm not. Maybe that's not your budget, and that's okay. Okay? Feasible and reasonable. Vendors, so the Knots and Wedding Wire are good apps to use to plan your wedding. So I'm using Wedding Wire, and pretty much they have a bunch of vendors already listed up there. So make anywhere from makeup artists, photographers, videographers, florists, transportation, vendors, catering, literally every single vendor that you need for a wedding. They have options there. They have reviews. If you're really big like me, I love to read reviews. I need to see and know that you're going to deliver what you said you was going to deliver, okay? It's not even giving what it's supposed to have gave.
It's not even giving what y'all said it was supposed to give. No, I wasted my money.
Imagine it's your special big day and your cake is dry and stale. No, absolutely not. So definitely read reviews. Travel fees are big. If you're getting married, so say you're getting married, for instance, in a major city or the outskirts of a major city, some vendors may travel over 30 miles and they may have a policy that says anything over 30 miles is going to be X amount. You need to know that because you may be thinking, oh, they're only an hour away. They can easily come. But they also need accommodations. You need to factor all of that in. So hotels, travel fee. What does that travel fee look like for makeup artists? How long are you going to be present? All of that. So there's so many pieces when you're going through vendors. So that app is super helpful and it'll let you send out an inquiry. I can't ever say that word. Inquiry to multiple vendors. So you can send out the same prompt message. Hi, I'm bride to be getting married on X date. I'm in need of a makeup artist for X amount of guests. I'm in need of whatever that looks like. And you can send it to 7 or 8 vendors at a time and then they respond back to you. I would recommend you looking. Some of the vendors will already have frequently asked questions. They'll have their pricing. So like pricing starts at, remember, it all goes back to what? The budget. And if it's what's your 2 things? Reasonable and feasible, okay? Seriously, y'all remember that. I'm gonna keep saying that the whole video, but definitely keep that in mind because the worst thing you can do is send out all of these messages and they all come back and their pricing don't match. Now you wasted your time and their time. So keep that in mind when you're looking at vendors, but Wedding Wire is a really good site. If you are on social media, hashtags are gonna be your best friend too. So just search your state, right? Virginia makeup artists, Virginia MUAs, South Carolina bridal makeup, Texas bridal hair, whatever you're looking for, Texas weddings. That's a general one, right? All of the vendors usually will use common hashtags, and you can easily find them, stalk their page, and see. A lot of times makeup artists and vendors, like event planners, they will tag all of the companies. So makeup artists, hair, photographer, videographer, and then you can easily go to their page and read over their policies, look at their work without having to do as much searching online with a simple Google search. So that's been helpful for me in finding a lot of my vendors and exactly seeing what they can offer. I love a review, but I also love to see the work. So Instagram hashtags, apps like Wedding Wire and The Knot are going to be super helpful for finding vendors. Ladies, for dresses, let's get into it. First things first. Congratulations. I should have said that first, right? No, I'm just joking. So first things first with your dress is what? That who? Okay, the budget. Okay, that's what it's like. All right. Yes, the budget, honey. The budget, baby. When you call these bridal places, you found a place that you want to try dresses on at, give them a call. Hi, I'm a bride-to-be. Looking to try on some gowns. Can you let me know the range? Okay, the range, meaning what price range you all have. Number two, what is the time frame for arrivals? Okay, what I did not know with bridal dresses, a lot of them are dated out 9 to 12 months because they have to get them shipped in from the designer. Okay, they only have samples on the rack. A lot of these bridal shops will only have samples on the rack, and so unless you fit that dress, like they have, some of them will have sample dresses that you can literally take home off the rack. If that's an option, wonderful. If not, you try on one size that's similar to the size you're going to get. They pin you up. So let me go back. With dresses, the first thing you want to be mindful of after that budget, though, sis. So the second thing after the budget that you want to be mindful of is that your dress size is not nowhere near your regular sizes. So I know as brides, we'll be trying to lose a little weight, get a little slim, honey. Get a little, okay, get that waist cinched in, honey. Because on your day, baby, you got to be giving, honey. You have to be giving. But anyways, that's another story for another day. For your dress size, just FYI, you're usually going to be 2 sizes up from what you wear. So I usually wear 12, 14. I'm a 16, 18 in wedding dresses. So just keep that in mind, number one. Number two, things to keep in mind is definitely going to be whatever you have on your Pinterest board. People will tell you this all the time. Your Pinterest board is one thing because it's on the phone, it's on other body types. When you go in the store, don't limit yourself. Like, try all the different styles. Try your ball gown style, which is like the princess that goes out, your A-line. Try your fit and flare, your mermaid. Whatever you want to try, sis, try. A lot of times when it's hanging on a rack, it doesn't give the same look as when it's on your body. So definitely try multiple dresses. And I also encourage you to make multiple appointments. Like, it's a good time when you try on dresses. And for me personally, I didn't want to bring my girls with me, not even my maid of honor, because I wanted it to be a surprise on my day. Like, me and my mom had that moment together, and my sister-in-law came with us as well to one of the places. But you don't want too many opinions, and you want people that you love and you trust, but not people who are going to be too opinionated, right? So if it's a dress, for instance, that you love, and you got Grandma Jean back there like, you sure you want to show that much skin? Or you sure you wanted to be that fitted? Girl, this is my wedding. Like, no bridezilla. This is just me being me. This is my day. So at the end of the day, it's what I want, baby. Don't be discouraged to start in the clearance rack. I will tell you from experience, they have a lot of good gowns in clearance for the low. Like, under $700 for the low. $400. $150. I went to one shop, they had a whole room of dresses, $150 and under. Where they do that at? I was like, okay then. You know what I mean? So find these bridal boutiques that have stuff that cater to you. Okay, you don't need necessarily a $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 dress unless that's just what you want and you can afford it. Cool, do that. But if you decide, look, I want a very sexy dress, a beautiful dress where I feel like I am like giving, it's about you, to be honest, for your wedding day, you and your husband. So just remember that and don't go too crazy on the dress. but also don't undershoot yourself. So you know what they're gonna ask you when you walk in.
What's that budget looking like, okay?
And they're gonna start pulling dresses from that budget. Now, some of them will get you, okay? You say, hey, I'm looking for a dress. My budget is $1,000. Well, this beautiful dress is actually $2,000, but I knew that this would be your style. Girl, I ain't say $2,000. You know what I mean? So you, at that point, you need to realize, all right, did I say $1,000, but I really could do $2,000? Or did I say $1,000 because I really can only do $700? And now she about to make me look at this $2,000 dress. Absolutely not. If you know your budget and you're firm with it, don't even try it on, because now you falling in love with a dress that's way over budget, and now you having a heart to heart with your budget. Like, ho, how am I gonna afford this? So in all seriousness, clearance racks will definitely get you together. 99.99999% of the time, you're gonna need alterations. Like, no matter your shape, if you say, you know, I don't have an hourglass shape, they don't really need to take anything in. They're gonna have to take the length up. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have to add a bustle. There are just things that have to be altered. Y'all ain't even tell me my hair was frizzing up. Alright. Dress shop that I went to, they have a flat fee for alterations. Okay, so let me tell you, alterations, depending on the material of the dress and how much you need done, can start anywhere from $400 all the way up to $800, $900, depending on the seamstress that you go to. Meaning, if you bought that dress off the clearance rack and only paid $500, you don't want to mess around and have to pay $800 more than what you pay for the dress for alterations. So keep that in mind. Also, price check. Always price compare when wedding planning. But that's with everything. Every vendor, every item, everything. Price compare and negotiate. Can I get a refill? Alright. Y'all know I never give y'all a video without a ton. Okay. You definitely don't want to break the bank, but you don't have to. Our colors are rose gold and dusty pink. So on the inside, the invitation is here from afar, because y'all don't need to know the deets, but this is how our invitation looked here. And you pretty much just slide this in. I will leave the link below for these. Now, you do have to do a little work. They don't come tied like this, okay? They come with all of these and then a bunch of ribbons. So you basically just have to tie it like I did. And this is the final look. So it requires a little bit of work, but it definitely saved time. We made our invitations on our own. You can use Canva. They also have preset templates for you online. I think for like anywhere from $3 to $8. You download it, put all your information in there. I printed off these invitations on cardstock paper. So I went to Office Depot. They actually had a 40% off. So I think they were for 60 invitations. The rule of thumb for invitations, remember, every single guest does not get an invitation. It's for the household. So for instance, if you have an aunt and an uncle that have 3 kids, that's a family of 5. Instead of counting them in for the count of invitations, those 5 guests get 1 invitation, if that makes sense. So if you have 200 guests that you're inviting to your wedding, you may realistically only need to send 60 invitations, and that will capture all of your guests. So make sure when you do your count, I have an Excel spreadsheet that I have the guest name, the invitation count, the guest count, which is different, and then the address and everything that you need to ship off. So these envelopes I also purchased on Amazon, and pretty much these are super cute because they have the rose gold interior. So pretty much like giving that elegant look, but I'm not spending elegant money. You feel me? Like saving, because why? I know my budget. I hope you do too. No, but seriously, these are super cute. I've gotten a lot of compliments on them, and I feel good to know that they look presentable, that we save money while making them. So invitations, definitely you can do on your own, but if you want someone to design them for you, there's ways to do that too. Etsy is going to be your best friend, because Etsy has everything that you ever need about weddings. So invitations are going to be important. Your venue, your dress, your bridesmaid. So let's talk about bridesmaid. You know me personally, I have a lot of people that are very close to me, and a lot of people that are like my team, like we on the same team. And because I've been so many places in my life, I have different groups from different places. So it was not easy choosing who was gonna be by my side. I will say that if I could have had everybody, I might have had 20 people beside me. Not even gonna hold you. But I just can't, and it's okay. They'll understand. if they truly love you and support you, they will definitely understand. Like I always tell people, there's multiple opportunities. Like y'all can still have a good old time at the wedding. They don't have to be in the wedding to enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? There are other tasks that they can take charge of. If you want one of them to be the day of coordinator, if you want one of them to be a hostess, like to me, some people be like, a hostess is for a high schooler. I ain't being no hostess. I'm either gonna be a bridesmaid. Well, this is, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like I'm just offering you something to do because I want you to be a part of my special day. You know what I mean? Or maybe you take them with you to go dress shopping, or you take them with you to a food tasting or something. Like incorporate them somehow, some way, but don't feel obligated to put all 80 of your girls standing beside you, because now nobody's in the wedding because they all beside you looking at you. So just keep that in mind. I'm very grateful for my girls. I have 5 of them, so 6 including myself, and just do what you feel is right, and wherever your heart leads you. You know, we love to use our heart. Wherever your heart leads you to do that, and just make sure you're not acting on impulse. A lot of times people get engaged today and want to text all 80 of their girls like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to be my wedding the next day. Hold, pump the brakes. Like me personally, as for me and mine, I need the time to think through, baby, because I can't, that's a lot on me. Like I cannot be, I need to first of all bask in the moment that I am a whole wife to be, okay? You love everybody, sis, because I do too. I'm with you, girl, I'm with you. But you gotta be more careful. I don't know who used to say that, but you gotta be more careful. Like you need to be strategic, honey. Like plan this out and think through to the end, okay? Your rehearsal dinner. How did I forget about the rehearsal dinner? So the rehearsal dinner is standard. The rehearsal is gonna be the day before or the day of, depending on when your wedding is and when your guests are gonna be in town. Pretty much you're gonna do a walkthrough. Johnny, you're gonna be paired with Sarah, Tom with Bob. Well, Tom and Bob, I don't know. Whoever's gonna be paired with whoever. Y'all gonna be walking down here, steer to your right, steer to your left. You're gonna stand here, blah, blah. Y'all go through all of that. And then afterwards, depending on what y'all want, for me and my husband, fiance, we are going to have a rehearsal dinner, which is gonna be following the rehearsal. So rehearsal dinner, you wanna make sure you plan for that, right? You wanna get it catered. Or if you're fixing the food yourself, make sure you have enough food for everyone. Make sure you let everyone know the attire, what time to arrive, where to arrive. If you need to rent a venue, make sure that's in your budget, because you are gonna have to spend money on that as well. Photographer, if you wanna get a photographer for your rehearsal dinner. I've seen a lot of different styles. Some people have an intimate rehearsal dinner at the a restaurant, literally intimate, like just them and their bridal party. Some people have a welcome party. If you're having a destination wedding, maybe you welcome your guests. You get married Saturday, you welcome them on Thursday, and then you do your rehearsal dinner Friday. There's different ways to do that, but we'll talk about that in another video. I can go on and on, as you can see, about wedding planning. At this point, it's a whole series. Please join me next week for episode 2. No, I'm just kidding. But if there's anything that I did not mention that you want to discuss, please drop it below. I know I was all over the place, but honestly, wedding planning is literally all over the place. Recap, you want to consider your budget. Make sure it's feasible and reasonable. Leaving a little wiggle room is going to be important, just because that's just the way it works. You are always gonna end up spending more. Make sure y'all are doing what you and your spouse like, okay? Not what everybody else wants, not what everybody else thinks. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, found this video helpful. Make sure you subscribe, comment, and like this video, and share with a bride to be. Stay tuned for more videos, and cheers. I'll see y'all on my next one.